Globe showing Europe Africa. What if humans disappeared from Earth? In a single, unimaginable moment, humanity disappeared from Earth without warning, without explanation, and without a single trace left behind. 1 second the world was alive, filled with billions of people moving through cities, speaking, working, traveling, and shaping every part of the planet, and the next second everything stopped. Not gradually, not slowly, instantly. Streets remained exactly as they were in that final moment. Cars were frozen on highways, traffic lights kept cycling with no purpose, doors were left open, and entire cities stayed illuminated long after anyone remained to see them. From above, the planet still looked alive, but on the ground, it was completely empty. A silence unlike anything in modern history took over the world. No engines, no voices, no footsteps, only wind moving through abandoned places. At first, nothing seemed to change. Cities still stood, buildings still reached into the sky, and machines continued running on their final cycles. But behind this illusion of stability, the systems of civilization began to fail. Without human maintenance, electricity grids collapsed in different regions, water systems shut down, and communication networks slowly went silent. Elevators stopped between floors, trains froze on empty tracks, and the infrastructure that once supported modern life began breaking apart, not through destruction, but through absence. Meanwhile, deep within forests, mountains, deserts, and oceans, the natural world began to sense that something had changed. For the first time in thousands of years, animals were no longer living under the constant presence of humans. The pressure that had shaped their behavior for generations was suddenly gone. At first, they remained cautious, as if expecting danger to return at any moment. But as hours turned into days, and days into weeks, that fear slowly faded. Curiosity began to take its place. Deer started to approach the edges of empty roads. Birds flew across silent skylines without hesitation. Foxes emerged from forests to explore abandoned neighborhoods. What had once been a world divided between human civilization and wild nature was now becoming something new. An open landscape where animals could move freely for the first time in centuries. As time passed, entire ecosystems began to shift. Larger animals followed. Wolves moved through empty suburbs at night. Bears wandered into abandoned towns. Predators reclaimed territories that had once been filled with human activity. Without humans controlling the environment, nature began reorganizing itself according to its own ancient rules. Some species expanded rapidly, while others adapted or disappeared. Life continued, but under a completely different balance. At the same time, the structures built by humans began to decay. Without maintenance, buildings weakened under rain, wind, heat, and cold. Steel rusted. Concrete cracked. Roads fractured and disappeared beneath growing vegetation. Vines climbed over walls, trees broke through sidewalks, and grass spread through every available space. What once looked permanent was slowly being erased by time and nature working together. Months turned into years, and years into decades. Entire cities were gradually reclaimed by forests. Highways disappeared beneath soil and plants. Rivers returned to their natural paths, reshaping land that had been controlled for generations. From above, Earth no longer looked like a human world. It looked wild again, green, endless, and alive in a way it had been long before civilization existed. Skyscrapers became nests for birds and structures for climbing plants. Abandoned buildings turned into shelters for wildlife. Wetlands returned where cities once stood. The planet was no longer shaped by human intention, but by natural forces that had always been stronger, older, and more patient than anything humanity had ever built. And in the end, Earth continued exactly as it always had, without stopping, without waiting, and without needing us. It simply moved forward, as it always would. The only question left behind was simple. Were we ever truly essential to this world, or just a temporary moment in its long history?